Hi everyone,
Hello again.
welcome to another episode of Weconomix. And today we'll be talking about our favorite tiger.
Yes, so Tiger is our mascot. It's, as you can see in Weconomix logo, as we had mentioned in the introduction to our Weconomix podcast. And actually, when we first conceived of doing this podcast, our main goal, in a sense, is actually to reignite the awareness on climate change, right? Because that was about a year ago, and before we had all this trade war and economic issues, and
That was our only issue at that point.
yeah,
we wanted to
the
address.
big issue. I mean, we had the Ukraine war and we had the
Yeah.
Gaza issues and all of those things, but
Not as global as this.
yeah, how it's becoming now with the trade war is, in a sense, it's like we were coming out of recovery from COVID, from all that lockdowns and all that. And in a sense, there's a simulation of it happening now, okay, as an economic lockdown, I guess you could call it. Because of that, obviously climate change has taken yet again another backseat, right? We were making some progress.
For those who believe in climate change, there are some listeners who might not believe in those.
Well, whether you believe it or not, what we can, weather is getting more intense, right? The heat waves are more often, the
Irregular.
fires,
Unpredictable.
fires.
It's just
No, the fires are just more intense, and in the US and wherever in Europe, in Australia, devastating.
Even Austria
never
was-
before.
yeah,
Australia.
Austria as well.
Austria, across
global
Europe,
is-
so.
There's a lot of this once in a 100 years rain that's happening more than once every 100 years.
Correct. And also, it's not just that the fact that it's once in 100 years, it's maybe 1 week's worth of rain, even those days, is pouring down in a few hours. So we have this flood scenarios or these storm scenarios that are unprecedented in history. Okay, so now it doesn't matter. I mean, it kind of matters whether you believe humans are the cause of climate change or not. But to a large extent, the world, as far as most of the world, the governments in the world accept that fact, and US also accept that fact, except
Some exception happened.
Right, some exception given to the great President Trump, who calls it a Chinese hoax, right? So
a lot of things are made in China, but I guess in his mind, hoax is also made in China.
Oh, he makes tons of stuff in China also, right? Okay. So whether it really doesn't matter whether he really believes whether climate change is happening or not, but certainly his policies is not pushing US towards a situation where it's going to burn less fossil fuels. You can see in the next 3 years. So of course they're going to
going back
promote
to the
fossil fuels and
old
mainly
days.
coal for power generation, right? So anyway, we digress a bit here because we've always wanted to promote,
awareness and
bring climate change back into the forefront of our conversations, because it is, for the next 50 years, it is going to be one of the most consequential changes that's going to happen on the planet, that is going to affect all our lives, economies.
I think people talk about World War III. I think the World War III is going to be, what happened to the environment.
I
We're
guess
all going to
it's-
fight
yes,
against.
it's about our
something
habits.
yeah.
What it is about changing our habits. Changing our habits, moving from a pro development, I guess, pro things. Pro all sorts of material.
Churn out,
to
manufacture,
something that
and just dump and just
yes,
dump,
exactly.
There's no consequence,
right.
no thought process behind what's
Right.
happening afterwards.
No, the biggest cultural change for us is actually to accept the fact that even our planet has a limit, as big
Yeah.
as it is, as far as recycling stuff. So
And also, there's many of us. We
Yes.
can break it so much easier than we could have
exactly,
before.
that's right. That's
And we've
right.
been breaking it very consistently for a very short span of
Right.
time in these recent times.
So that was actually how we conceived
Yeah.
of Weconomix
Actually,
as
it's
a
actually
podcast.
the biggest reason why we started this.
Yes,
But
yes.
along the way, we've discovered many new, fresh issues
Right,
that we didn't
right.
think will come
Well,
back.
yeah,
But
so-
let's discuss that as well.
Yes, right.
But
So that's why we have the tigers here, because the tigers in Malaysia, we still have enough of them, enough of a population for it to not become extinct. Right?
it's nearing, but we
it's
can still
nearing,
say,
this-
hey, it's out there somewhere.
Right. And of course, there are also Malayan tigers in captivity, right? But the main thing is that, the Malayan tigers is our national symbol now, and we don't want it to go the way of the leatherback,
Yeah.
right? The leatherback turtle was our number one mascot, though it wasn't in our coat of arms, but Malaysia was known in the 70s and all that. Tourists would come to go to the beaches in Terengganu, in our east coast of the peninsula.
very
Malaysia.
popular, yeah?
It was very popular.
Because by the time, for me, there was no news. Nobody, a little bit in school we learned about it, but it was never really a big thing. By
Yes,
the time I went to
yes.
school.
So yeah, I guess because by the 80s the numbers were already declining. By the 90s, 80s people were still coming to see the leatherbacks. This giant, the biggest turtles in the world, right? As big as a car coming out of the sea.
Insane.
Not one,
I once saw a video. I think I showed it to you and asked you, "Is this really how big it is?"
Right.
And he's just moving on land.
Yeah, it's like a
while being
Volkswagen, you know.
I think you can sit in a Volkswagen and make the Volkswagen a carpet. I think it's such
That's
a
right.
huge.
Right. Huge, a huge animal, a very docile animal, and
Sweet giant.
right. We still have in the beaches of Rantau Abang other turtles, more local turtles like the olive ridleys, the green turtles, and the hawksbill.
I think you mentioned
coming
because it's all
today.
local.
Yeah, they are local. They live around the islands off the coast of Terengganu. And Rantau Abang Beach is just perfect. It's just a nice landing, nice steepness for them to get up high enough to lay their eggs beyond the water's edge, you see. So it's perfect. It's one of those areas that turtles love. But we unfortunately cannot see leatherbacks again. They do come, but not to the point you can invite tourists to come and watch it. Leatherback turtles are still are protected, and in the beaches of Costa Rica and that side of the world, they do come to shore in quite good numbers to lay eggs.
I guess it's just, they're not extinct. They're exiled.
Exile, yes, yeah. Because they are open ocean turtles. They live exclusively in the sea, right? They barely come to land. Only the females come to land to lay eggs, and they travel for thousands of kilometers, going up to close to the Arctic, Antarctic, wherever it is, and then finally they come to lay their eggs. And if that mother turtle, female turtle dies, and she's the one who was born here in Rantau Abang, in Terengganu, that's it. She'll never come back, because turtles only will lay eggs from where they were hatched, right?
They really appreciate home.
Yes, exactly. So our tigers are also in a bit of a peril, quite a bit of a peril here in Malaysia.
During that time where there was the 70s, 80s, what was the population of tigers back then?
At that time, we are talking about 500-600.
Oh wow!
In that number,
5-6 times more than what we have now.
Yeah, in the numbers in the 1950s that they promote, that they say is actually about 3,000.
That's how many tigers are in India now, I think. Or if not,
Right,
I think
2,000
more.
plus, I think,
Yeah.
in India. So, there were tigers in Singapore, right? So, Singapore also has a tiger in its emblem, right? But it's extinct there.
No lion, no tiger.
No lion, no tiger, right? So, here in Malaysia, we want to highlight the plight of our Malayan tigers, and we really hope that for now we just want to be part of the awareness campaign, I guess you can say, the awareness campaign to keep the tigers fresh in our minds, and they are out in the forest. Chances are we'll probably never see a wild tiger even if you go hiking, nowadays. I don't think you'd want to. I think it'd freak us out.
One of those things where we avoid each other.
Right, exactly. But they play a very important role in keeping our forests healthy, and it's important for the future of our lives, our planet. So we will look into this topic every so often. We'll come back to what's happening with the tigers, and seeing also how we can contribute, what we can do to help preserve, increase their numbers.
It's good. We see a lot of billboards now. A lot of people are talking about it. Newspapers are bringing it up. It's nice to see that coming up. But I think we have to do a lot more if we want to save these tigers in time, because of
I think
the limited numbers that we have to deal with. And
so our goal here in Weconomix with our podcast, we will continue to monitor what's going on with the campaign to save our Malaysian tigers. It's a very national thing right now. Became a highlight from all the roadkill, unfortunate roadkill of actually very young, healthy tigers. Just don't have enough space in the habitat. So ended up as roadkill. So there's a national campaign to safeguard them, to increase their numbers, and we want to follow that campaign and then just keep the tigers in our awareness and see what we can do, how we also can contribute to their numbers going up.
thank you, everyone. That was another episode of Weconomix where we talked about leatherback turtle and the Malayan tigers. Stay tuned and catch you at the next episode.
Until then, let's strive to thrive.